In our last session, the group woke up back in Alisha's basement, safe, so it seemed, although the newt was not around when they looked for it. Alara and Rose enjoyed some small talk over breakfast. Verity took an extra portion down for Kurok, who was still blind and not quite able to move around, while Adam continued his search upstairs. Before that, in the early dawn itself, Hayes had a bit of conversation with the gnome that seems to be tailing them, watching from the roofs this time. Hayes was not able to get very much out of the gnome, although so far the gnome still seems relatively harmless. As Hayes returns to join the others for breakfast, however, they're greeted by the sight of Sigil's resident lunatics, the Chaotisecs, running around in circles and chanting the word Kurok again loudly in front of Alisha's pantry, to the dismay of those inside who have been working hard at either relief efforts or excavation. Adam, not wanting Kurok to be disturbed, claims the name for himself, and they pick him up, shower him with bits and pieces of a glass, colored glass beads, and whatever tokens of appreciation, so it seems, before hauling him off there at top speed. Fira gives chase, and reluctantly so do the others. Verity is able to give a call out to Sael, who asks whether he had a good rest. Verity decides to drop a whole update on him about the Kadiks and some relevant points of the last night, which Sael seems highly skeptical across and urgently asks to meet Verity at the gatehouse. As the group from Ark is still getting acquainted to the weirdness of the Chaotisecs, another problem rears its head in the twisting, winding maze that is the hive itself. Fortunately, Rosa had the presence of mind to place a mark on Adam, and she's able to track him through even the trickiest of tunnels and twists. Their destination ends up being what they presume to be the headquarters, for whatever time being, of the Chaos Men, where they lay down Adam and speak more of their strange words again, in rhyme or semi-rhyme. The others catch up, Fira nowhere in sight for now, as they interact with the strangeness as the Chaos Men. The leader, the Factol Karan, when he decides to be, seems to be a Gitzarai, a yellow-skinned, lanky-looking humanoid, male, slightly advanced in age, with a bushy whiskers over his face and an odd serenity amidst the whole chaos of things running and jumping around. The Factol makes several quizzical remarks to Verity, Alara, and Rosa in turn, passing them strange gifts, if they can be called gifts as such, and finally presenting Adam in turn with the newt, however it got there or how. Before leaving, he imparts a few more strange words, and then all of them take a run off at great speed. Shortly after Fira returns, a new acquaintance makes themselves known to the group, none other than Factol Sarin himself of the Harmonium. Verity and Hayes quickly go to attention, and the others follow suit in their own way. Factol Sarin is an elderly human, advanced in years, but seemingly strolling casually amongst the hives as if law and enforcement still held sway here, and perhaps it does in his presence. He has a good personal chat with Verity, asking for verification of several events, speaking a bit to those from Ark as well, especially when Adam brings it up. The group distances themselves from associations with the captain and suggestions that the harmonium does not like those who have turned stag. Siren is gauging expressions. The others reveal very little about themselves, but when asked about the one who defeated the Cadix, Verity points him towards Alicia's pantry. Adam does have a request that Verity and friends have been kind to them and whether there's some way to repay the favor, like where he's from, and to help with investigation. Siren suggests that there's no harm in this as long as they keep to official capacity, and that Verity and Hayes hold the final word in how it proceeds for now. To aid them, Siren also passes on a book of some kind penned by a governor, or rather the Fraternity of Order, the author now off reach in McKenna somewhere. Siren asks Verity about the works he has done so far in the Hive, what sort of change he wants to do. A subtle but perhaps significant conversation passes in this way, and eventually Siren makes off at his own pace. Newt, still eating the grape, is put on Adam's head, and Fira at that point seems to burst out irritation over the newt as to why Adam is still keeping it. Why now there's a pet? More whys than this. And the group echoes certain concerns as well about what Newt might be or might grow up to be. Adam adds more promises into his logbook after this. Rose asks Fira how she puts up with this and what she sees in him, to which Fira says, I don't know. The group then turns on to business, Verity leading the way to the gatehouse, looking for Bleaker Leandra. Leandra isn't present. Instead, Karen is. Karen is a moon elf, seemingly young in appearances, but with a much older expression and rather inflappable. Karen wants them not to poke and prod around the asylum and not to interact with patients and those in the cells, especially as a cause of treatment. Karen explains that the cell 134, in which a prime woman was housed, had been torn off the hinges, evidence that the group sees for themselves with a blackened interior from combustion. Of a spherical nature, it is soon determined, and with fiendish fiery elements as well. No remains of the patient are found, but there are pieces of finger bone in a hexagonal arrangement. While in the adjacent cell, it seems the basher Carl, who was housed there earlier for paranoia and other treatments, has seemingly finally snapped and broken his way out as well, seeming to leave a small trail of blood behind. The group discusses their findings along with the book, and eventually Verity determines that they have seen what they have to see there. Leandra may have to be consulted another time, but for now they think they have the evidence they need from here. And this is where we continue for today.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything I missed?
No.
You forgot 68.
What?
Yes, the group did indeed have a conversation with one. They did indeed address one of the patients, and that only speeded up the group's resolve to get out of there quickly.
Me and Rose tried.
What do you all wish to do right now?
I can't hear you clearly. My plan is to find the
Continue.
to find the portal merchant and see if he knows much about the keys that he's selling. I doubt so, but should give us some clues. But otherwise, I think I will have to check what's the other side of the portal.
Out of character, where were we meant to meet Sael?
in the gatehouse.
outside
at
the
the
gatehouse.
Yeah.
Isn't that where we are now?
You're all leaving the asylum at the moment.
The asylum is the gatehouse, no?
Yeah.
Or am I
All right, you exit the place where people are secluded in cells and left to the darkness and dubious treatments. And there, slightly out of breath and pacing around in circles, is the tiefling you recognize from before, Justice Sile from the Mercy Killers.
Verity will walk up to him.
He looks up and runs over. Verity, what happened?
Just as we found a lot of evidence inside the cell just now.
No. What happened to yourself, first and foremost? Order of priority. If an officer is injured, tend to the officer first before any business.
It was last night. Yeah, we met the Cardics in the hive.
That was real?
Yes, you can get the reports from Officer Aram, but we fought the Cardics and it exploded. You can see evidence of that in front of Alicia's pantry.
Officer, I don't want the damn reports. I want to know firsthand what happened.
All right, we when I got there last night, we met a weird gnome right after you sent me off yesterday for dinner, and then the gnome pointed us to where this group and then Verity.
Could you describe this gnome?
He's wearing a green garment when I first saw him, and he's biting on a pipe. Has a very weird, goofy expression when I first saw him. And apparently Hayes says that he was following us the entire day.
Did you manage to discern if this was indeed his appearance, or was there some covering, glamour, illusion, disguises?
At that time, we didn't really have a lot of time because apparently they are in trouble. Well, Hayes, could you show him how the gnome looks like?
Interesting.
Approach and show him what the gnome looks like. This one does not believe this to be its true form.
How do you show this?
With a minor illusion.
All right, how do you do this?
I will create an image of the gnome's face.
Okay, but how does Hayes do this?
What do you mean? Oh, like physically how it's done. Okay, so he'll hold out his and those will rise up and like a dark mist image mist.
You're breaking off a little bit.
Hello?
You're breaking off a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, breaking off.
You're breaking off.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try different Wi-Fi.
I only heard
Hello?
the shadow part.
Yeah. Hi. Okay.
Hello.
Is it better now, or is it?
Okay. Can you repeat how Hayes does it?
Okay, so Hayes will hold out his palm facing up, and then some shadows will take a smoky form and rise up, and then within the shadows you can see the image.
That's a useful trick. Well, Officer Verity, just to repeat, in case there's any cause for action and emergency, it's always important to first verify the source of information.
This one agrees.
An officer jumping face forward into a possible trap is a loss of an officer.
Verity is like, he didn't reply. He's like, and then he nods. He's like, yes, I understand.
There's less officers in Sigil than there are, well. But anyway, do go on. So there was the gnome that somehow knew something was going along and conveniently wasn't around to assist.
He was in the room that was designated. He was in the prison.
Well, yes, so somehow he managed to get into prison and somehow managed to bring you here, but wasn't able to assist you.
Yes.
Interesting. And, oh, the Kardix.
Emma arrived. They were fighting the critics, and I went to help them. And that's
He
nice.
turns to Hayes. Could you show me what it looked like?
The creature was in a injured Cadix.
Yes, try
And then
using...
and then slowly like the parts of it fall off. Like first the wings fall off and then the synaptic module breaks and then the arm falls off and then it explodes. Ah, the cat is attacking the cables.
Oh, no wonder. That's
okay.
Well, yes, it was injured when we engaged it. There was one of the
You do
outsiders that
see
came along.
Sail's eyes widen slightly at the last part. Explode. Were any of you caught in it?
He awkwardly turns and looks at Verity.
Sail just draws in a deep breath as if he's about to say something, but stops and shakes his head. What languages does Verity understand?
Elven, Sylvan, Celestial, and Common.
Okay. Sail's voice changes to some, still stern, but somehow taking on an odd melody as he switches on to Celestial. Verity. That explosion at the end, there's one kind of demon, I think, that does this at the end of its life.
Oh, Celestial will reply in Celestial. Verity will reply in Celestial. Do you know which specifically it is?
A Baylor.
Baylor. Have you met any of those kind before?
Seen from afar. Not to be trifled with.
Do you think they could have experimented on this Baylor creature and made it into that Cadix?
Well, the external appearance from what I saw looked nothing like that unless it's so worn out and changed, but that last bit was a characteristic.
Is that the only one? Is that the only fiend that does that?
The first one that comes to mind of that magnitude, but perhaps when there's time, I'll ask Hayes to replay the fight as best he can. But for now,
it has a lot of parts, and not all of them are working together. But
yes, it's a troublesome thought.
But
Something or someone or someones had to have made it. It didn't come about of its own accord. It was unnatural.
From what I know, it's for the blood war, isn't it?
Yes, but
they left it here.
Verity, what I say with you, keep to yourself. And then he glances around, looking at the others, still in that strange language of his. Then he leans into whisper to Verity, who's attempting to listen on the Celestial.
Me.
Nope.
I don't understand Celestial.
Rose understands.
Okay, first you have to understand the language, and secondly, are you making an effort to hear?
Well, she does want to know stuff. It's not like she's doing anything else at the moment.
Okay, is Rose trying to actively listen?
Yeah. How far away are they?
Well, they're still right before you all, but as in
Yeah, she'll definitely listen.
Okay.
If not that far.
What's your perception? Make a perception check and tell me that with your passive.
Passive is 16.
Okay. You managed to catch bits and pieces.
Do I catch the Baylor?
Well, that part he wasn't whispering.
Ah, okay. Then I caught that.
But Sayo leans into Verity. Verity. There is strong evidence in official investigations that there are groups with interests of prolonging the blood war for whatever reasons.
Is it because of the experiments or?
There are groups interested in prolonging the blood war so much that they come from either side and even have been known to cooperate. That is a worrisome thought.
Are they in Sigil? Do they have a group in Sigil?
We have seen bits and traces, nothing to do a full-scale crackdowns and such. To do so would be kicking the entire, cage of bees. And Sigil is a very large cage.
But what? I mean, the Codex was not of their making, is it?
Well, Verity, later on we'll have to talk about the actions you saw and all that, but it may be worth picking through its behavior and actions and build, and especially what Hayes witnessed, to see what went into its creation. I have a strong suspicion that there are agents on both sides who have done work on it.
I see. So it's not only one side you're saying that's working on the Codex.
That's what I say.
All right. Okay. Well, we have a talk with Hayes, you and me after this, but thank you for letting me know.
A pleasure. Then he switches back to the normal tongue again. So, what else have you been up to since the morning? I assume you've had breakfast?
Yes, Alicia was really accommodating, and we went to the gatehouse to investigate further. Found a lot of interesting signs that leads to something unpleasant.
You came straight to the gatehouse after eating?
Yes. On the way we met some chaos men.
Yes. Ignore them.
Well, yes. Went straight to the gatehouse. Find whatever we could from the crime scene or where the victim died or exploded. It's not a pretty sight. So
Sahil also looks over at Hayes to see if Hayes has anything to report.
Hayes will look slightly confused, but he will not say anything.
And Verity, how do I? Verity will show him the notes that he has written. He can have a quick glance or something like that of all the things they found in cell 134 and 135.
Sahil pauses at this. Wait, were they with you?
Yes, they were great help. Lady Rose were able to discern that there were temporary portals in the room.
Sahil looks around at the lot of you as if noticing you again for this morning.
For the very first time.
Still around, you all?
Hello?
Okay. Sahil's addressing you all. Still around, you all? I'm flapped. Most clueless usually get on their way after squeezing what jink and bop they can get from the harmonium. Well, most primes are just passing through, so they say. You gave that much impression. What of the rest of you?
Well, Well, we talked. Wait, no, we didn't. Okay. Well, we're just helping Verity with a little investigation work, so that's gonna keep us busy for a while.
Wait,
Verity says, yes, we did meet Fetosari
Wait,
and
you help
Helping.
with the Cadix, and
Helping.
he looks, well, there's an expression in his face that's not quite easy to discern at the moment. Wait, Verity, Factal Sarin?
he came by to the hive to verify what happened with the Cadix. And
Paid a personal visit.
yes, we have met him.
The Factal is on his way to Alicia's pantry
Yes.
to investigate.
There was one
remnants of the
with
creature.
who came along with the outsiders who actually managed to duel with the Cadix and survived. Alone.
Sayo sort of like puts both hands on his forehead.
Yeah, I get that too.
Wait, so Sarin talked to you and then headed off?
Yes, and he passed me this book. And then Verity shows Sayo the book.
Verity, what did Factal Sarin say to you? Please, this is important.
What specifically? He was asking about what happened last night, and he was quite interested to know who actually could face the Cadix alone. That's why we point him towards Alicia's pantry.
He makes a bit of a strangled noise. Wait, you had the opportunity to personally demonstrate your results and effectiveness to Factal Sarin, and you told him to go off and see the remains and the other person for himself.
No, I did report what we have done, and the group here did a great job, so I recommended them. And yes.
I just... never mind, not right here, not now.
Where he gives him a little like side head thing, like don't know what's going on.
Can I like do a?
Okay.
Can I try to ascertain what?
Okay, Alara, you know what this means? Okay, Alara, as someone Vithalnos, when you're used to like when a superior comes over to personally say something to you, like it means more than just like a routine visit or checkup. Alara?
Mm-hmm.
So usually if Vithalnos officers would take this opportunity to show their superior around, point out things, talk about accomplishments and hopes and all that, and the squeeze in the little bit of maybe a promotion at the end in a subtle fashion.
So far from what Alara has seen of Verity, she probably thinks, "Oh, Verity's too nice." And then she sees the big red guy, and he's saying all these things that Alara already knows. It's like, I guess she's gonna hold her tongue because it's not her place.
Okay. What did the others do or say?
Hayes will say, this one was led to believe that we had other matters that needed attending to.
Yeah, have you finished your little chit chat, Verity?
Well, all right then, all right. Seeing as I'm here and my morning plans have all gone in tight, let's get back to the situation with investigation. I assume that's why you've been checking out the Barmies.
Yes.
He starts looking through the notes.
You're a Barmy.
I have an idea about what's going on, but I need to connect the dots. We found the 3 corpses in the same place. they are all defiled differently, but before they die, or the purifying process, they are all the same. I'm led to believe that perhaps the person purifying, quote unquote, is testing out the subjects after they did the purification.
I wish it weren't so, but that's possible. There are some very sick minds in the cage, on top of things.
And the butterfly key that we have has the same aura as the one that is in the cells.
Wait, same place as in the sewers in general, or exactly in the same spot?
You mean the corpses?
Yes.
Yes, exactly the same part of the sewers where we found the 3 corpses together.
He pauses at this.
Bloodhoof Merkel found them first.
Did he move them?
No, he told us that he found them there and he's appreciating the chaoticness.
There's nothing chaotic about 3 corpses appearing in the same place.
Unless there is some other implication behind that.
Were either of you able to discern any magic in the area?
You mean the corpses place or the cell place?
Where the corpses were found?
I don't think I've written that down. I think we found the corpses and we find how they died and then we get them off, right?
Well,
I don't think
it may be a bit late, but I'm willing to wager that there may have been a portal there at some point.
Yes. I am planning to find the merchant of his portal key and perhaps we have to find what's on the other side of the portal.
Merchant. Oh, that's a good plan too. Any ideas where to start?
Well, from the info that we were given, then where he like sift through the thing.
Yeah, he helps you. He definitely scan through as well. It seems he reads pretty fast.
He helps you turn the page.
Well,
Let's see. Not. So this trinket finder gave you rough suggestions on where to find.
Yes, 2 streets down where the trinket merchant is, it is hunchback, wears a top hat, and well, he's small, perhaps a halfling.
Now I know this rough location. That's close to the bottle and jug.
Alright. Actually, it could be good to go there as well because I'd like to know more about Basher Carl. He was a cellmate beside the cell that had the explosion or burning portal accident.
Has Basher Carl committed a crime?
He escaped the gatehouse, but I don't think Bleaker Karen was going to press charges. But he might know something about what happened beside his cell.
You notice like the mercy killer mood clicking on as he goes like, is he possible accomplice to this crime?
We are not very sure, but we found some blood trails. He might have. My assumption is he might have used his finger bones to unlock the cell doors.
He grimaces.
I'm not sure. We found a lot of finger bones in the cell that had the incident. But
Right.
I can't remember the corpses having missing fingers. I'm not sure who all those fingers bones belong to.
Finger bones. Well, I'm sure we'll find out when we ask them.
I was going to either the Swan and Buckler, since Basher Carl was a cell sword, but maybe Bottle and Jug could be a good starting point.
What was he inside the gatehouse for?
Apparently he thought everyone's out to get him. He has paranoia.
Well, then the bottle and jug doesn't seem like a place one would go off that. Nightly brawls and all that.
That's true. But it might be worth asking if anyone's seen him around.
Right. Any other thoughts on this? Any other leads?
Well, no, I think that's what I have so far. I can piece together anyway.
Well, I think you're doing good work so far, officer.
Uh,
Has Hayes been of good assistance to you?
yes, he has been really good. And them as well. Without them, I don't think the investigation could be that smooth.
Aya looks at the rest of you.
Well, I mean, I
What's
look down
that
at Newt.
doing there?
It's a new pet that they found.
All right, just don't get it into the evidence.
I'll keep him inside my scarf. It's alright, because it's tied behind my head. I tell Newt to go back inside.
It wasn't with you when you were fighting the Kardix, was it? Because I'm pretty sure that counts as some kind of cruelty.
Sile cares.
I wasn't paying attention. I was a bit scared for my life.
Rose is gonna ask Sayao. We're still trying to find out what this thing is. Do you know anyone who might be able to shed some light? Any animal experts?
He steps forward to the newt, and the newt sort of shrinks back into Adam's scar. Fire looms in.
Over Adam.
It's okay, Newt. He's just big on the outside. Pretty sure he's tiny on the inside.
Oh, God.
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah, I'm saying that to Newt.
How?
Fire makes a little sigh again, and like reaches out and plucks Newt out.
All right, be gentle. He doesn't like.
Sile starts doing examination. It's like those of you like Rose, you've worked with animals before at some point. You know, like people like there's a procedure to picking up and examining it. Sile is quite clinical about it. There's it like checking the ears, checking the eyes, the features, checking the teeth if any, and like. There's barely any teeth. And it's like, how did this thing survive? Flip it over, checking the tail. Well, I can't say if it's a male or female.
Apparently, it has not pooped since the minute we saw it.
Magical then?
Yes, from my divine sense, it is both celestial and fiend.
Both celestial and fiend. Is that divine sense of yours easy to fool?
I am not sure.
Well, I mean, he's almost as dense as his armor, right, guys?
This one has not known his senses to be wrong.
Well, there's some kinds of magic that the peddlers use to trick people. Magic auras, from the point of view of a mercy killer, I'm not recommending anything of this. But be on the warning that some peddlers have been known to give their goods a glamour, make it look magical, even change its appearance to detection of magic and such.
This was given by one of the Chaos Men
Chaos?
who ran into a ditch, and we don't see him anymore.
What he means to say is he promptly died.
We are not sure, Adam.
Wonderful. Just
And Factor, what is the Factor's name?
No. Don't tell me please tell me they weren't involved.
Dr. Karan gave this to Adam.
Yeah, I have no idea how we found it. I was looking for it the whole morning.
And then he swam in the ditch.
No, no, that's the other Chaos Man.
Damn.
This morning, Newt was
Missing.
gone, and Factor Karan has it. Maybe that's why they got Adam to where Factor Karan is.
Yes, that totally was the reason I was there.
Officer Verity, I recommend when you find that friend of yours, see if you can put several dispel magics on this thing just in case.
You mean
It's been
Officer?
touched by chaos, man. You never know what's infected by now.
You mean Officer Aram?
Yes.
All right. I'll ask him to do some stuff when we see him next. So
Every darn thing they touch. Ugh.
so far it has been quite harmless.
Right, this thing keeps getting better. So, where was I?
We will be going to the bottle and jug.
All right, I had some ideas, but you seem to have your own as well. That's great. Let's move along.
Where would you like to go?
Well, until
And then-
something crops up and I'm needed, I suppose.
All right. It is good to have you here again, Justice Sire. And then Verity will turn to you all and says, "Do you want to follow us to the bottle and jug?
Well, I mean, it's part of the
But-
investigation, right?
But I think Lady Alara wants to go to the first garrison. Is it?
I can send a note, a message to Tia and get them to do something while we're investigating this.
The clerk's one is better security than the hive. Definitely.
Alright, if you don't mind giving me 2 minutes.
You can send a message that far.
Kind of. Through
Well,
planes.
then, by all means, go ahead. That's great.
Okay, I'm going to send a sending. And this is what I say to Tia specifically. Go to Clerk's Ward, find lodging for 6, rendezvous contact at 20 to 2200 hours. At ease until then, good luck, stay off the radar.
Okay, could you post that in the Discord chat just for convenience?
It is also on the Roll20.
Okay.
Ooh, and I put my scarf under, because I assume Sael like towers over me, under where his hand is holding Newt to like signal him, drop him back in the scarf.
Return to you,
Okay, cool.
and then Newt just burrows back into your scarf and doesn't poke out again.
All right. He's on my back because he's like too big for it to wrap around my neck, so it's like a hoodie kind of thing.
Let's try anyway, but like it doesn't look like it wants to come out anytime soon.
All right. It's okay, Newt. We'll get you something to eat as payback. He'll get you something to eat as payback.
Right. The sending from Tia is on it. We'll watch Ahi.
Okay, all good. Let's go.
Verity will say, "All right. What about Lily Rose? Do you have anything you want to do before we set off?"
Not anything in particular. I think the faster we get through this investigation, the better our chances would be. Also, cold cases are very difficult to solve.
Agree.
We'll have to try our best. We are getting some leads.
I nod, and we go. Does anybody want to say anything? No?
Oh, Hayes, anything you want to do?
Hayes?
You want to add about the weird gnome that you met on top of the the
Oh,
roof?
no. This does not seem relevant right now. We're doing investigation things.
Let's go then. Let's
Okay.
all go to the bottle and jug.
Okay. For this, I'll say
Ooh,
Like- yeah.
while we're walking, I wanna like talk to Verity.
Okay.
Yeah, just you can continue just when we're walking.
Okay, so you mean we're doing it in
wait,
take text?
Sorry. One thing before you head off.
Yep.
Once you're done walking, like Sile raises his hand and gives a whistle,
Oh.
and then there's a clopping of hooves.
What's
Aw.
going on?
Oh.
It's the fancy horse.
Oopsie.
Oh no.
It's little bit fancy.
Oh no, it's Arya.
Yeah,
Verity
then-
is significantly happy.
I thought it was
Then,
his own horse.
Arya comes around like trying to keep as little contact with the filth of the grime of the pavement as much as she can. Her eyes are wide and sorrowful. Oh, Verity, it was awful. I had to. And Sile holds her hand up. Bar that. Did I give you permission to speak?
Oh.
Your rider barely made it through in one piece while you're in the stable, so we're keeping priorities straight.
Oh my god.
Verity like stops and says, "It's all right, Arya. It's good to see you. Well, how are you? And let's go, really." And then he starts brushing Arya's, pampering Arya. And then he says to Saya, "Come on, Justice. Do not be so mean to Arya."
Verity, a mount and a rider should be in agreement. That's all.
We are, aren't we? And then he asks Arya.
Arya looks down like, like it takes quite. It's difficult to bring her into the hive,
Mm-hmm.
but here she is.
Yeah, Verity is actually touched that she actually came.
Oh
Into
no.
this disgusting.
Like Verity gives Arya a nice little pat at her favorite spot.
Would
It's like,
Adam like to constantly like press the
thank you
heel?
for coming, Arya.
Arya just like when she thinks he's not looking, gives like a look in the direction of Sile, then returns back to being a frightened little unicorn.
Aw, wait, she didn't say anything. She can say stuff. Verity's like,
Yes, but she seems to not want to say anything in the presence of this person.
She's
aw.
not sanctioned.
All right. And then Verity would just bring her along instead of riding because it's kind of weird to have just one person riding a.
Okay.
Can I sneak up behind Arya and try to like examine the nature of her horse tail?
Okay.
What?
Are you checking out her ass?
Does Rose say that out loud? Please say she does,
Yes.
please. Yes.
Are you checking out her ass, Adam?
I'm looking for traces of magic.
Kira calls out to you, Adam, don't touch the deformed horse. Something could happen to you.
It's fine. It's fine, Fira. This is for research.
For research, huh?
For science.
All right. How does let's see. Arya notices this and tries to swish her tail to swat you away.
You are a fly.
It's okay. I'll take the slap in the face of a horse tail.
That shit hurts you.
I kind of straighten up and I go, well, another day then. Close my book, put it in my pocket.
You should be happy that she didn't actually kick you with her hind leg because that's gonna break your bones.
Okay. You move along to the which side? Okay, who's leading?
I mean, since
He's will
Verity's
walk
been around
behind
high,
to keep watch on
so-
all the people.
probably Verity style than the group, maybe.
Yeah, Rose will be at par with Alara.
I have to be at the front because I want to talk to Verity.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess we'll be in the middle.
You notice that Verity takes the lead. Sile sort of slows down so he's behind you.
Okay. All right.
Then Adam sort of runs up and is next to Verity.
Yeah, I run up and I go, "Oh, hey, Verity,
Yes?
about that book. You're done with it, right? Can I like borrow it?
Well, would you be reading it while we are walking?
I'm
I
pretty
had a
good.
thought.
I'm pretty
I
good.
think we will need to read. We will need to research on this book. Perhaps we could
Saya looks to Adam.
find
We
out.
are in the hive. You keep your eyes off the road. Something's going to get your pockets.
And Bertie says, "Yes, I will lend you the book, but I think we should research together as well because I need to know what's the process of the purification in detail."
I like to do my research
Is
alone.
there a problem?
No, it's fine. I'll help you do your research, but can I have like the book to myself so I can really get
Boy.
into it?
The harmonium officer just gave an answer. It wasn't yes.
I mean, I'm asking. That's why I'm asking again. Like, I'm gonna help you with the research, but can I like have the book to myself for like maybe like
then
I don't
Verity
know, an
asks
hour?
you this time, "Is it because of the other one?"
No, like totally not. I just like learning new things as with your
Insight
horses
check.
and magical.
Not that my insight is very good, but
No, I
I
want
Guys
to
at the
insight
back of the
check too.
group. Go, you got don't shut up, guys. Because at the back of the group.
Maybe Saya's insight is good.
Insight
I
that
could
shit.
do an insight check because Verity is quite concerned,
Yeah.
but his insight is very bad.
Give a heckin' concern.
Oh.
Oh. Can I see it?
That's
Oh.
That's a
what the fuck?
I'm sorry. Can't lie to Verity.
Adam.
Cannot lie
It's
to
like-
Verity.
Gods are against me. Oh, you can tell Adam's lying out of his ass. It's like, oh no, I just like researching things in general, especially like your horse's.
A gauntleted hand clamps on Adam's shoulders.
Oh.
The harmonium officer said no for the second time.
All right. I respect that. Just just call me whenever you need help with the book. All right, Verity. And then I chill out in the middle of the pack, and I like slow down to make distance between Mr. Big on the outside.
Verity will like turn around and tell Adam again, "We can research together, but this is harmonium property. I can't leave you with the book alone."
All right. I understand.
Officer Verity, that one likes to push boundaries. Do be mindful.
Verity will just do a little subtle nod and like turns back to walk on the road.
Let's see. Your journey takes you from the gatehouse down along Bedlam Run southwards through Goat's Wood and eventually into Lord's Lane, where you arrive at the Bottled Jug at H18. Along the way, you see the Dabus, a few of them at work trying to straighten out Razor Vine, though the improvement is quite insignificant from the night before. There are shifty-looking people of the hive, either going about their daily business or possibly looking for new marks. It's hard to say from the glances thrown in your direction.
Okay.
Not many of them are humans, in fact. You can see outlandish features in some, suggesting the plain touch, the genasi, tieflings are quite in abundance. And you see perhaps one of the few carriages that, carriages as a rule do not enter the hive.
Yep. But I guess they're dropping people off then.
This carriage seems to be some rickety, repurposed dwarven war machine.
Oh.
And the sign of the Doom Guard is brandished on the side of it. Sael gives it a very hard look as it goes along, and the dwarf is trying to talk. The dwarf driving is talking to the passenger inside. 'Twas good enough for me grandfather. It'll certainly be good enough for me and for you. As a sprocket falls off and like runs off to the gut somewhere.
All right.
Right?
Can I like is that thing, person, contraption approachable?
It's big. It looks like it's falling apart, but it looks like maybe it still has a few good doses in it for like some heroic war effort or whatever.
All right. Can I look at?
Let me show the Doomguard sigil.
All right, sure. Can I look at Haze? I want to pull. I want to like go all the way back to Haze, like to the back of the
This
group.
is the Doomguard sign, the Sinkers, they are known as.
Alright,
It's
cool.
not a pleasant one to look at.
All right. I go up to Haze and I go, Haze, could you like accompany me for a second so that I don't get into trouble, and then so that you can lead me back to the group? I want to do something really quick. It'll take 5 seconds.
Haze reluctantly follows you.
All right, I go off. I go off to the weird contraption thing and the guy.
A second pair of footprints follows you. It's Fira.
Okay, cool.
Can I keep an eye on this nonsense right now?
Sayo is not. Sayo's keeping behind Verity at a respectful distance, so it's by Verity's pace.
I don't think Verity realized that you went
Okay,
behind.
and Sayo's not slowing down either.
No.
All right. So I go up to the thing. Like, is there like the person who was like
Okay.
talking to his machine, right?
Okay, this contraption. Think about a giant tortoise shell, like built in a sort of giant tortoise shell with like metal plates over and bits of wood and rusted stuff like jagged out and all that. It looks like it could be used as a battering device if it was able to move faster. The horse that's pulling it along is a bit old and haggard, and the rider not much more so.
All right.
Like bits of pieces of it are trailing behind, or like some now and then falling off, in true Doomguard fashion.
All right. Okay. I want to talk to like whoever looks like they're in charge of the thing, the rider, I suppose.
Like the driver is a cranky-looking dwarf, like matted beard, not very well maintained.
Okay.
Gosh, it's all right. It's just entropy. It'll do what it does. We'll get there.
I go up to him and I go, "Hey, sir. Sorry to interrupt your business or whatever it is you're doing
The
here."
dwarf isn't slowing down.
Can I keep pace next to him?
Okay, that means you need to move at a bit of a brisk jog.
Yep. I'm doing like a brisk job while I'm talking to him. I'm like, "Sir, I noticed your contraption, your thing here. Do you mind if I like give it a quick up and down look? Is that okay?" I'm asking you if I can climb on it.
The dwarf hawks and like spits.
I'll take
Get
that.
on with your business.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to look at Fira, and then I'm gonna have my please help face that she knows that I have when I need help with my research.
Fira like shrugs and sort of walks behind where it's moving, and there's like bits of dangling metal from it, some of it trailing along the ground, like maybe a bit of chain and all that.
Okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to climb on top of the thing, and then I want to like draw a rough schematic for it in my notebook while I'm like, as I climb over it, under it, inside it, behind it. Not inside it. Not inside it. outside.
Okay, Fira gives you a leg up to get on.
Yep. That's what I was hoping for. Thank you. Yeah, and that's
I need you to make
literally
an athletics check to stay on.
all right. No problem.
That's okay.
That's alright.
It's quite a bumpy ride. It's not the most stable of contractions. Holding it on is a lot harder than it looks because of how frail, of how like things seem to be falling apart. Like a metal plate comes loose in your hand and you sort of
Whoa.
tumble off with it.
Wah! Okay. That may like so I assume I fall off the thing right when I climbed up.
Yeah.
I look back at it as
You
it's going.
land on the ground like splat into the muck and everything.
Yep. As I get up and I like dust myself off, I look at it going away.
You dust yourself off. Your hand sticks.
Yeah.
What's going on with my hand? Can I check it out?
Like, well, you landed in the liquid and stuff, so it's like your
Ah.
hand sort of sticks a bit.
No.
All right. I look at it and then I look at Fira and I'm like, thanks for the. Yep. Sorry, Newt.
Newt was under you.
Nope. Sorry. I get off of him, and I'm like, was worth a try. It looked like some interesting things. Yeah, I take Newt from under me and like I put him back in the hoodie as I stand up. The hoodie scarf.
Will offer
looks
you
a
a
bit
hand. to
browner
pull
now.
you up.
He looks a lot what?
Browner.
Newt looks a bit browner now.
Okay, from the I press the him.
Does it smell bad? It smells really bad, right?
Yes.
Okay, I press the him,
And
but I don't-
yourself.
but I don't press the myself yet.
What? Okay.
Newt still remains that color.
What? I look at him. I look at myself. Am I the same color as Newt?
No, you're not. If you clean yourself off, Newt doesn't smell since you clean him off, but the color seems to have changed.
Whoa, Newt! I didn't know you could do that. Wait, I rub his skin. I give him like a little rub on the temple. Like, does it seem like it's coming off?
No.
What? Huh. I guess this leads to an interesting discovery. All right, Hayes. Sorry for pulling you away. Let's catch up the group now. Thanks for the help, Fira. On the way there, I just want to like play with Newt to see like if any parts of the color are coming off.
You've lost sight of the group.
Yeah, that's kind of what I brought Hayes for.
Since I was
I think Alara was
observing
watching. So
this
Alara,
happen.
you have a choice of either to keep pace or lose track.
As soon as
Because
we
there's no way this
almost
there's no
lose
in
them,
between.
I'm going to tap on Verity.
Okay. Yes.
Huh?
Verity, someone's tapping on your shoulder.
Oh,
Verity, it seems that we've misplaced our comrades again. But they're over there.
Verity turns around. So Hayes, Fira, and Adam is gone.
Yeah.
Verity does a little sigh. I guess we could wait for them. I know Hayes knows how to go to the bottle and jug.
So do we continue with them? Without them, rather?
Actually, we could proceed and Hayes will come.
Alright.
Verity, try contacting him with your helmet.
Yes. And then Verity calls Hayes.
the scaled one
yes.
wished to observe a dwarven machination.
Alright. Are you all done?
Are we all done at this point?
Yeah.
As in done as yeah.
Yeah, done. It's I was a terrible failure.
And Verity says, do you know how to go to the sword and the bottle?
Well, Adam, you have a
So-
metal plate if you want to add it.
yeah.
to it.
I was about to say like keeping it with me.
Verity will tell Hayes, well, I'll be heading to the bottle and jug. You know your way, right?
Very well. This one will lead them there.
Sayo says, we should not split the group in the hive. Tell them to hurry up.
Verity says,
DM no?
we'll wait for you on the way there. Meet us up as soon as you can, Hayes.
Understood.
Then Verity will just like stop his steps and just wait for Hayes to catch up.
Okay.
Okay.
The rest of the
then
journey
yes, we
passes without further incident.
Before that, I asked Verity, because she's seen the helmet chat a few times. Verity, it seems that you have a very interesting helmet on you. I mean, it would be good if I could acquire one of those, considering, where we are right now. How much do you think it would take to construct such a thing?
Well, we only acquired as an officer. I haven't actually looked into market price. There will be something like that in a Great Bazaar.
I'll put a note in that.
Verity, these things are made for the harmonium. So if you encounter them outside, chances are they've been stolen or acquired illegally.
I mean, like something similar, like some sort of sending stone thing.
Sending stones are fine, but the helmet design is a harmonium or mercikiller thing.
Okay. So Verity would just tell her. Well, the helmet specifically, it's for harmonium and mercikiller only, but we do have devices similar to this, like such as the sending stones that you can get from the Great Bazaar.
Duly noted. Thank you.
And yeah.
Okay.
To the rest of the group.
Where's the rest of the group? Are they here?
Have they arrived?
Oh,
Random encounter.
just for my notes. What color is Newt now, DM?
Brown.
Brown.
Really blue with a bit of brown speckles around.
Okay, so it's not completely brown.
No.
Okay, cool.
On the way back to the group, Hayes will speak to Fira. That scaled one. His interests are fleeting and frivolous. Does she respond?
She thinks a bit about this. Says, I know it's trying at times, but sometimes it works.
I see.
mean, so who are the crazy people over here who do these kind of things?
Does she mean like the...
Who are your researchers and scientists, but in her own words?
Because in Turokmal, there's no such thing as researchers and scientists. So she's just saying like the crazy people.
I see. Give me a sec.
What does Hayes think about researchers?
Well, definitely not that.
So loud.
Are you like at a bazaar or something, you know?
I don't know.
What does Hayes think of researchers? Like, okay.
My housemate is actually watching the TV. It's actually very soft.
Which of the factions would fall under that category? Is there one, or would there be people in every faction that would be like that?
Well, then there's different kinds of sorts in all factions, but if you want to research, it depends on what kind of research. Like the sensates are the biggest researchers in terms, but some would argue that research needs a method to it and repeatability.
Yeah.
Theirs is more of like a, like a thirst for knowledge, but more of the thirst part.
So that's those are the sensates.
Yeah, I think they want to experience everything, but they tend to throw themselves into it.
Okay, so they're not very methodical.
Yeah. The governors are very methodical, but it's hard to say research in the sense that research is usually something you share.
Yeah. Okay. So this is like what she's asking is probably like a tinker's shop or something. Like individuals, like more individual rather than like a faction.
Is that how you're interpreting it?
Okay. In individual wise, let's see. There's the Great Foundry, which is the headquarters of the Godsmen or believers of the Source. Since they believe in the potential of each person and they like to constantly forge and reforge things to try and perfect it.
That sounds about right.
There's the Doom Guard who hold control of the armory. Their main interests of research have to do with destructive purposes, like they have like a fascination with fireworks and that kind of thing. They can improve it.
Okay, I think that's probably what Hayes would say.
Yeah. And there's also the fated, but what they're researching tends to be very unpopular elements, like how can we modify tax rates without hurting this and that, and while improving ourselves, kind of thing.
I see. Okay. Okay. Hayes will probably point her to the Doom Guard. Those have interests in machinations of war.
The Doom Guards are also not exactly the friends of the Harmonium usually.
Yes. That part I remember.
Okay.
But aside from those, there are many individuals. Yes, apart from, but aside from those, there are many individuals in Sigil that have.
Well, some have well, if you're talking about the legendary reputations, there's a warrior from the Sensates, sort of like a planar centaur. He's called Woolly Cupgrass. And his laboratory involves like sampling drinks that he's never had before. So he's like a sensate that's a serial alcoholic, except any beverage will do.
I see. Okay. I shall reference this person then.
He's caused quite a lot of annoyance for the Harmonium before.
Yes, definitely reference this person then.
Wait, was it barely cut grass?
Woolly Cut. Wooly and Cupgrass.
Yes. Woolly Cup. Two words that do not usually appear next to each other.
Yes. It's a strange folk here.
Unless it's knitted out from wool. It's a cup knitted out with wool and filled with grass.
Most useful.
Okay, and as
yes, what does Fira say? Hayes will give brief descriptions of these individuals and their frivolous pursuits.
A talking deformed horse, okay.
Indeed. Your companion is in good company.
She glances at you as you try to detect sarcasm.
Yes. Hayes has very little facial expression, so up to her to interpret that.
She gives up after a while. Okay, and music. You all arrive at last at the place known as the Bottle and Jug Tavern, or rather the outside thereof. It's a foreboding fortress-like tavern, and from behind the doors, you can hear the loud raucous sounds of many people seated in close vicinity and edging to have a go at each other. It's still early in the afternoon, so it seems the festivities haven't exactly started yet. And outside, along Lots Lane, you can see numerous little stalls set up by traders here. Though traders might be a bit of a generous term after going to the market ward yesterday. There's a haggard-looking old woman offering drink out of the teapot she has, whatever greenish stuff it might be, for only several coppers. There's beggars, a woman with a baby asking for help. What looks like a soothsayer, and so on and so forth. Desperate people looking for desperate coin.
Very typical to the beggar and give him 4 copper coins.
No.
Sayo says, Verity? Are you sure?
Well, she has a baby and they need money to get food.
Goldmane often does this.
Alright, this is a lesson then. He lets you give the copper over. Thank you. Thank you. Your heart is good and wise.
And Verity say, I hope you get enough for a few days. Take care of yourself.
We try, we manage, but this makes it easy. And then there's a little pattering of feet, as it seems a little street gang of orphans has appeared, if they are orphans.
Here they come.
No,
The
no.
street
Hi.
children.
Very
Give them
cute.
candy.
Officer Verity, do you have anything for us?
Well, Verity
Sayo makes a face like, let
Yep.
me know if you want to be rid of them.
Yeah, Verity still has his bag of. Wait, he still have his rations, I guess. He's gonna give out his rations and then break apart his silver pieces into several copper coins to give each of them one copper coin.
They don't just break on their own, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Wait, how many is it?
Give them one. Ask them to share. Oh,
No. You should throw it on the ground and watch them fight.
It's 10 copper coin for one silver piece, or is it 100 copper coin for one silver piece?
10 to 1.
10 to 1, right? For
Like, no one's going to break change in the hive here.
Verity gives like help me look style to ask for change to
Okay. Well, to some credit, the orphans actually sort of line up to receive the rations.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to the coins, they give the help look style goes, you've had enough. Move on. The children look up at Sai like, yes sir, and they head back off, running away.
And then Verity looks back to the kids leaving, and it's like, well, maybe next time.
Are you eating well yourself?
Yes, the garrison has some. Actually, never mind. Yes, I did. Yes.
You think?
I did have a good breakfast in Alicia's pantry today. Because I vaguely remember Verity and Haze actually didn't have dinner last night.
yes. So
Sayo,
we had
let's look at-
breakfast.
Sayo,
Yeah, we
let's
had
look at
breakfast.
Hayes. A reminder that when two officers are paired together, it's so they can watch for each other.
Hayes nods.
Yes. Shall we go to the bottle and jug then?
Aren't we inside the bottle and
But
jug?
you're outside at the moment.
Oh,
in the
okay.
Streets. Okay. So Sayo says, do you want to look for the merchant first, or well, lead the way?
Oh wait. I guess we could look for the merchant. He has a specific phrase that he used, which you can see. It's about portal key and chip keys.
Okay, let's see. Okay, you look around. Perception checks for the merchant.
I am very bad, but I'll try. And then Verity will ask Hayes for help. He's like, Hayes, could you identify this hunchback halfling, perhaps?
Yay!
Hey, you try and follow the clues that the little trinket finder gave you. You glance up, you glance down. There doesn't seem to be anyone matching that description along the street so far. Like, the old woman with the teacup pours something green into it. 2 coppers, wet your throat.
This one will keep an eye out. Then I'll just keep watch.
Don't suppose it'll be down another street.
Sayo looks at the both of you. Well, if you can't find them yourself, you can try asking the locals.
Yeah.
But you may have to use easier words. And some of them will want Jink as well.
What exactly are we looking for?
You don't know? Do explain.
We're looking for the merchant who sold these butterfly pins. He appears to be a hunchback halfling, wearing a top hat and a hood on. It's rather strange.
Sounds like a disguise to me.
I think
If you're short, you don't need his help to be trying to be tall.
I think she mentioned also that he might not have legs and he just floats around. Or did I imagine that?
Yeah, it's like floats around.
Yes.
Right. Where do you wish to try your luck? With the woman with the baby, or the old woman with the drinks, or the fortune teller, or like random other stall people?
I just asked the one that I gave the copper coins first.
Yes.
Oh, the portal key seller. He was here yesterday. If it was a he. She seems to think a bit. What I saw was the portal key seller was trying to peddle its wares to some of the patrons of. She indicates the tavern behind her, the Bottle and Jug.
Okay.
And then one of them may have been drunk or upset, but I do believe they asked for a demonstration.
All right.
And the merchant said it wouldn't work, and then the buyer insisted. I think the buyer tried to grab the merchant, and before the cloak came off, I think the merchant went invisible and fled somewhere. The keys were dropped around the place and people grabbed them. I did not try.
Oh.
Where was this?
Well, the keys, are they all the same? Are they butterfly pins?
I'm not sure. I did not try to get any because there was a stampede.
I see.
Ask them how often.
Then, how often what?
How often the seller is in this area.
Has this seller been around for a long time or just recently?
Quite recently, I think. Definitely not more than a year.
Where did this encounter happen?
She indicates the entrance of the Bottle and Jug.
Oh damn, there's not going to be any traces of that.
Yeah, I think everyone just grabbed the keys and just run already.
Yes.
Man, there's going to be a lot of victims, but, well, they don't know how to activate the key.
Well, I think that's why they got upset. The merchant was saying about how to activate it. I think.
Do you know what he said or what they said?
I think the customer was upset about having to stab themselves or something and wanted the merchant to demonstrate.
Using a pin to stab themselves.
Crazy, isn't it? Barmy is the whole lot, I tell you.
From what we remember, we found the pin in one of the corpses' throats, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Like they had swallowed it?
Yep. They are trying to swallow it, but it didn't actually go in, I think.
Okay.
It vomited out. When we move it, it's like, alright.
Okay.
And then Verity was saying, what other strange things that happened recently with the merchant? Do you know?
That's all I know. This is where I am. But if you want to ask more, you might have to ask inside. You're an officer. Maybe they won't try anything funny.
Verity will nod and say, thank you very much. You have been a great help.
She nods and cradles the baby closer to herself.
All right, and Verity will stand up and tell Sile. Well, it appears
I got all of
Water
that.
Hmm.
Are you
I
going
guess we
to
can-
ask?
I guess we can ask the tavern keeper.
All right, first things first. Verity, do you know what kind of establishment this is?
It has the arena and it's quite a rowdy place at night. That's what I know.
All right, so what do you think is the proper approach to talking to them?
Verity thinks he's not very wise. Perhaps they would like to see a spectacle. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they make their own entertainment, but what do you think is the best way to open a conversation with the owner or the bartender?
Why not? Oh, am I in the area? Like, how far away? Like,
Yeah, around.
I'm
Yes, you're all around there. You're
Okay,
all
okay,
around.
okay. So
But because this is Sahil, he won't say anything if none of you say anything.
I'm going to suggest perhaps we could just go to the bartender and say we picked up a key and we're wondering where it came from and how it works. I mean, if this kerfuffle happened yesterday, surely you would know.
Sahil frowns a bit, Alara. And you think they'll be automatically helpful?
Aren't you supposed to be the authority in this place?
Sahil puts his hands on his forehead a bit. This is the hive. We hardly, if ever, have patrols around here. It's just too big.
And of a little place that might give you some semblance of information.
I'm just saying, pushing the law around here doesn't work as well as you think it would.
Verity says, well, perhaps some drink would help.
Now you're talking. But how much is useful?
Considering how much they earn each day. Then Verity looks at his own first. Perhaps 2 gold?
Sahil makes a little face.
A lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Does Hayes make a face too?
Yes.
You've been hearing 2 gold, it's like, what? No.
Well, if you wanted them to stab their own mother, I suppose you could offer that.
And then Verity looks at he doesn't really have a lot of like silver pieces, he only have 1 piece left. All he has is like some gold coins right now. Just as a more wise in this, what's your suggestion?
I suggest leading with fire.
Well,
If they
Yeah, with
if they
this.
try asking for more, you can pretend to leave. They will probably stop you.
alright. Here, take this. Verity gives him
He
1 gold coin.
suggested like 5 copper or something.
Exactly.
I have some silvers if you want to try. Maybe we can start with 3 roses.
If you think you're a good bargainer, you can even try 3.
Well, okay, and then Verity gives Sile 1 gold pieces, and then he says, I don't really have much silver pieces left.
Okay, Sahil gives you the change.
So that's 20, right? I mean, 10, so that's like 10. Okay. Alright, how much is the drink in there again? But Verity doesn't drink.
Drinks in there are like 2 to 6 copper.
Okay. Do they have non-alcoholic drinks?
Oh yes, they have non-alcoholic drinks. But
Alright.
well, even alcoholic drinks are not necessarily safe.
Yeah. Well, Where do you look at Rose? Well, Lady Rose, do you have any idea for a negotiation or some bargain?
Rose shrugs. I'm not really a negotiating kind of person.
Well then, I guess I'll go. And then where'd he go?
Must
All
be high
right, Saya says,
charisma.
remember what kind of place this is. Good luck.
Goodbye, cruel.
You can do
Maybe
this.
we'll watch from somewhere near enough, but
Um,
not super near.
We're next to
30
the
feet
door,
away.
right? Like the entrance. Are we
Okay, I
at
said,
the door?
you're outside right now.
Can I see inside the tavern?
Okay, you have to open the door, and the first thing you see is what looks like a snarling, green-skinned humanoid, roughly about 8 to 9 feet tall, sort of hunched over, and like taking on a mossy, stony sort of texture towards the back. Those with Arcana may roll for it.
No, everybody. 16. Well, Adam's Arcana.
Let's see, what's the results? It's okay. So to those of you, you're familiar with oh wow, the picture looks worse than I remembered.
What?
Okay, this creature is known as a Fenseer.
Oh.
It's a type of a troll, except it's native to the plane of Yisgard. As a result, they tend to grow larger, and towards the left is a female of this species.
Oh.
And currently a female is looking over at you. This one seems to have obtained some coloration from mixed lineage elsewhere. And presumably is one of the bouncers of this place. And immediately upon the door opening, the sound just like bursts out. You can, it looks like a fortress outside, but inside, just past the bouncer, you can see like soiled red carpets covering the floor. That's as much to cover the ground as it is to soak up like spillage. There's flickering oil lamps from the ceiling, still keeping the room. It's more disturbing to the eyes than providing sufficient illumination. Feels like a network of caves with wooden partitions. There's scenes depicted of the blood wars, dividing the main room into sections and segregating the customers to their own preferences. The bar is ahead, as well as the drinking area.
How wrecked is the area, since it was mentioned that the people who come here really like to...
Well, like, the first thing you notice is the furniture, the chairs and tables are made of largely metal. Some of them are even chained in place. But in other parts, you can see some of the chains have been broken, some of the metal has been dented in. It doesn't seem to bother the patrons too much.
Basically, they have too much fight that metal table is the way to go.
It's a mama.
Wood table just breaks.
Exactly.
And some of the patrons are pretty damn big, just like the bouncer.
But the tavern keeper is well known, right? Barrel Hoxton?
Oh yes, the tavern keeper is well known in these parts, as well as by those who frequent the hive often. Let me just post a quick picture of the layout.
What's the
Okay, the tavern owner here is known as Barrel Hoxton. He's a human and of the Free League, so he gives no service to any of the faction.
Okay.
He's pretty large himself and tolerates no nonsense. And almost as the door opens and there's like faces turning in the crowd. Hey, either come in or stay out.
Verity will step forward.
I think we're all going in.
Yeah,
we are all going in.
I guess we buy a drink.
What's this? We've got Well, we've got a red death and harmonium. There's a few snickers around. Where's the governor to complete it?
Well, Verity is not gonna ask. I mean,
Justify it with an answer.
it's
The
not gonna respond.
the bartender like just beckons you all over. Pay no attention to the minders. Right. So, to what do we owe this honor? And then in the background is the sound of bottles shattering against a table and someone getting up, and then a whole lot of things cascading to the ground after. No one turns. The bartender doesn't turn around.
I guess it's a common sight here anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Verity will say, we are on an investigation and we are here to inquire a few things about what happened today.
Investigation. It's like a few hits like perk up all that. Sure, ask your questions.
Verity would just like slip him like 5 silvers.
How do you wish to slip him the silvers?
He'll just take it and then he's like slide it slowly towards.
Can I say 1 ale, please?
Yeah, please do that.
Right, he pockets the coin. It gives you all a glance over. Okay, let's see. Right, what's the marching order, so to speak?
Kays will stand behind.
Alara is at the bar.
No, he's
maybe
not. He'll
10
stand
feet
behind.
away from Verity.
Unless he's called, Hayes will stand behind everyone so he can make sure nothing happens to anyone.
Okay, so Verity, Sael, Alara. Who's after Alara?
Adam, right? Adam is in the middle of the pack or something?
Okay.
Or is it Rose? I don't know. You guys.
Rose is next to Alara usually.
Yeah, Rose will stay at Alara's side most of the time.
Yeah, so I'm flanking at the back with Mr. Hazy-kun.
I'm
Grace and Fira.
Okay.
I'm keeping my eye out. I'm keeping my eye out for twitchy people coming closer in the establishment.
The bartender, I'm not sure if he's ever smelled before or if he's of mixed lineage. He appears human, but pretty big as a bull himself, and hasn't had a shave for a while. His eyes passes all over you one by one. These are the people from the ship, aren't they?
Verity looks behind and then looks back about.
Yes.
Sael speaks up. We are the ones asking questions here, if you please. All right, what's your questions?
I heard there's a commotion today about the portal merchant outside your tavern establishment here.
Yeah.
We also inquire if you have seen this portal merchant frequently selling to your customers these portal keys.
I don't really keep track of whether or not he wants to sell them to. Buyer beware and all that.
But does he come in often?
Oh no, he doesn't come in, you see. Well, except last night, which was a big mistake.
So he entered the tavern last night and
tried to push a sale. Tried to push a sale. Saying some bloody nonsense about the key needing to be activated by jabbing oneself with it, and then everyone decided maybe the merchant should demonstrate his own wares. No, before people could strap him down, however, bugger went invisible and ran. I reckon he won't be rattling his bone box around these parts anymore.
And do you have any of the keys that this merchant dropped?
The bartender looks at you. He shrugs and reaches under and puts one key on. Puts one butterfly pin still intact. The one of the wings a bit dented to the side on the counter and passes it over. Are we done now?
All the keys like this.
I didn't get all of them, so I don't know. Maybe.
All right. This is dangerous portal key, mister. Just letting you know.
Dangerous. Yeah, got it.
Also try to speak out a bit. She's gonna say, surely you know how to contact a merchant. You're a barkeep.
Right, I'm a barkeep. I know everyone in the hive, down to the lowliest beggar and the tallest orphan.
This should mean something around here.
We're all friends. We even have a secret handshake.
Alara smirks harder.
I guess that's about all that you know.
Well, he's asking.
Well, just why should I be concerned about a merchant that's just dropped all his goods and run off?
So he does have a top hat and is a hunchback halfling.
Wasn't a halfling, that much I can tell you. Didn't catch a sight of anything before I went invisible, but from the way things came off, I don't think it was a halfling.
But it's small in size.
Lots of things are small.
Speak weird and with a top hand and a hood. Just confirming some facts.
This guy just didn't want to be caught. Hey. He beckons over to someone at the back, and you can see like where there was the clattering and the shattering of glasses and such. The two slightly bruised men are getting up, and they are like they have arm over shoulders as if they were best buddies, like coming over. Hey, Arn. You were close to where it happened, right? Yeah, but I don't see... harmonium, right. What do you want to know?
Could you give me specifics of that merchant before he went invisible? Was it small? Was it if it's not a halfling, was it
Okay,
very...
it was small. I'd say smaller than small, since the whole bloody cloak, like, well, it was like it's like pulling a house off an ant or something. It's just something much smaller under it. I think I didn't hear it running away, so I figure it's capable of flapping or something.
Do you hear some flapping noise and fly away then?
But I didn't hear footsteps, that's all I can say.
Yeah,
Went invisible and
query teleportation.
I'm not a magic expert. Don't dumb that on me. I know it was squeaking in Inferno like a curse, but that was about it.
Could be an imp then. All right. So the keys, when they dropped it, it was all butterfly pins like this, yes?
He shrugs. Stuff dropped out. I grabbed what I could.
They look like this, and then he points to a butterfly pin.
He holds up his own, like one of the wings has been snapped off.
So everyone took one of it.
So if you're worried, we are not exactly dumb, you know. We don't use things that we don't recognize until we get someone else to try it first.
Well, variety would just sigh. Well, all right. Just be careful with it. What else?
Hey, since
Have
the
you seen
other
this
one, You're that officer, Verity, right?
Yes. Yes.
I hear you're working with the Barmies. And I hear something about the explosion near Alicia's pantry.
Oh, yes, the critics, yes.
Now, I wasn't going to say that, but you weren't there when it happened?
Yes, well, I have to protect this group of, assist this group of people before they get themselves into huge trouble.
Well, come sit down and tell the story when you can.
I will return once this investigation is over.
I'll tell you the story right now if you want.
We do not have time. We have to find them.
They turn to look. And who are you?
Let's just go to the side where we can have a nice conversation when you buy me a couple of drinks. And I kind of step out from the group.
Adam?
When he does that, he's one of the parties.
Hayes looks at Fira to see what she does.
If you stay
Fira
here,
steps
we're
forward
leaving.
and taps Adam on the shoulder. Adam, we gotta go.
All right. That's
No, Fira, let him do it. Maybe he can get some favors.
Fira's right. If you stay here, we're leaving you.
Next time, then.
It's time for another day. And thank you
Fira
very much.
Fira gives Rose a look and then gives Alara a nod.
Yeah, and Verity will say, thank you very much. And then he slips one silver piece to the guy who answered the question.
Fira says to Adam, you know how this will end up. It's like the mingling. Each time you end up sitting at the table, I have to bring you home the next morning.
Well, I just thought it'd be fun. No harm, right? Let's go.
But yes, Verity will thank the guy who answered the questions and give him one silver piece. And he'll leave and thank Barrow as well.
Alara will nod at Barrow. Barman.
Yeah, Barrow Hoxton.
Okay.
Barrow.
You make your departures with like some of them looking over you as you leave. The larger troll, the large Iscardian troll bouncer gives you a look, baring some haggard teeth as you all head out.
Yay, we left unscathed. Yay!
Yeah.
Anyway, we got the way to activate the key. Yes. Shoot, I forgot.
Forgot.
I forgot to ask about Bashakal. Shit.
Wait, what?
Never mind.
The sellsword fellow.
Oh.
Never mind.
Yeah,
Anyway, we got the info for the portal and how to activate it.
We can always come back later. Like later.
Did we take the one that Bao put on the table, or he's just
Bao
letting...
passed it over.
Okay.
So we have two
Imagine
workable
leaving and then immediately coming back.
And
if
Verity
it's
will
Verity.
ask Rose. Lady Rose, could you identify if this aura is the same as the one that we have?
Do we get a minute? I'll do it somewhere else when we're safer.
Definitely.
This is per rest or something, right?
Yeah, short rest.
You could, I guess, yeah.
What? Yeah, I just wrote rest, so it's short rest as well.
Okay. Okay, Rose.
But is the area like safe enough for them to stand around for a minute? Because they left, right?
Yeah, we all left the tavern.
We're probably outside the door next to the old lady who got coins.
Okay, if you guys want to stand around here, or do you guys want to sit elsewhere first?
It's the hive. I think we're good.
Okay.
But
So
Rose can say like protect me or something.
Well, like Roddy say, well, I'll keep watch and just make sure you're safe.
All right, it won't take long. So she'll spend a minute.
We're taking an hour short rest, yeah?
Huh? No.
You cannot short rest in the hive without.
No,
It's
we're not doing that.
it's just 1
That's a
minute
bad
long.
idea.
It's just 1
Rest,
minute
and then
long.
I'm like- I was like, I keep hearing
We're
rest.
just
I'm like,
chilling
why?
for
No, the
literal
rest
minute.
is probably because she doesn't really do anything while walking, so it's just light activity.
No, walking. No, you do not rest while walking.
Oh darn, so sad. Then I
You
can't do it.
cannot rest while walking because walking requires expenditure of energy.
Light activities is just like reading stuff.
But
Okay,
you're
so
still
she can't do
stationary.
it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait.
She did it
there's-
before, right?
Yeah, I was like, there's no
Yeah.
way, right? She needs a rest. So we're chilling here for an hour. What the fuck?
Well, does Rose say she cannot do it then?
Yeah.
All right.
Sire holds up the pins. It's like, Verity is the same design.
Yes, I think they lead to the same place. I'm thinking we should check out the other side.
This one suggests perhaps we go to somewhere safer and test the keys ourselves.
I agree.
Yes, that's what I'm planning to do. Perhaps the first garrison then.
Haze nods.
The garrison. Well, let's find a nice empty open space instead, I say.
Do you have any recommendations?
This one does not believe there are any such places within
The
hive.
slacks.
Process
With
stuff.
Haze tilts his head.
Well,
That's like the dump, right?
Well, it was the Cadix area before, but if it's gone and it's the slack,
hey.
the slacks was part of the hive district. But the blood war came over here and things blew up and there was great fire and they will make the Great Fire of London look like a tiny campfire.
Okay.
Slags ain't that far.
Where is
Yeah.
it actually?
Actually, it's
Slag
kind of far.
H39.
Sandstone
Yeah,
District.
like
H9.
H39.
We have to go back.
you have to walk diagonally south. Wait, I don't know. Is that south?
Well, it goes up the curvature of the donut.
Oh, actually, yeah, it's super close because we
Oh,
can
yeah.
just walk
Walk up.
towards the left and then up slightly, and then we're there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
nearby.
I say 10 points.
10 points to Gryffindor. Okay, let's go.
All right.
And okay, upon hearing the
was there
slags,
only one Cadix?
that's what everybody says.
Okay.
Alara did ask, like, is there more? And the guy's like, well, we don't know.
Sayo says, if there's more, we'll soon find out from the scavengers.
He's nuts.
If I'm not
We go.
mistaken, somebody mentioned to all of us that there's stuff in the slags that might be, useful to find
Yeah,
before
cool.
everybody goes there.
Crystal? What's it?
Oh yes, there's mention.
Yeah,
Cache.
Crystal mentioned that.
So Alara bring this up. Like, if I'm not mistaken, Crystal, was it? She mentioned that the slag has certain useful items, maybe? I don't know. But it also depends if it hasn't been ransacked already.
Well, I haven't been there personally, but we could investigate.
It sounds
This
interesting.
one will keep an eye out.
Well, the caches, from what I understand, it's trickier than that. You see, there was meant as a stockpiles, I think, for the blood war, but of course the stockpiles would be guarded, traps, that sort of thing.
So it's very interesting. What kind of things are in there, do you think? There's food or weapons?
Well, they were planning to wage a war at some point, and as if they thought they might conquer Seagill. But that never came to pass, so whatever's in the cache is in the cache.
Well, it might be prudent for us to go there anyway. To see. Because if it's
Be careful the
weapons...
things that you pick up.
Yeah.
They could be cursed or I don't know.
Avoid picking up things, but if you catch a few scavengers in whatever our investigation is, no big loss.
Alright. Seems very cavalier to be leaving weapons for everyone to pick up. Of course, they'll have to do a few traps, but this is Sigil, right?
Well, perhaps they were counting on something guarding it.
Alright.
Or maybe they weren't planning on coming back. That would be the best thing ever.
I guess we better make a move then.
When Sile mentioned that we shouldn't pick things up, Hayes will sort of tap Adam on the shoulder and like nod in his direction, like, yes, did you hear that? And gesture.
Do I see this happen at all?
Yes.
Do I see the head nod? I turn to Hayes. If that one doesn't even listen to people telling him not to talk to prisoners and stuff, I doubt he would stop picking things up. And I say this loud enough for everybody to hear.
Then Verity will just turn to them and say, well, I know you're curious, but yes, it is dangerous to pick up things in the slacks because we don't really know where they came from, and you might endanger everyone in the vicinity.
Alright. But I feel like you guys are telling me to throw Newt away, and I'm not throwing Newt away. Just,
I think we are past throwing Newt away.
Fira frowns at you. Adam, for once, this isn't about that thing. It's about you and your safety.
Well, yeah. I don't think I picked anything up today. Well, I mean, besides this metal plate, but
And then he says, besides this metal plate, and Alara goes, exactly.
Well, I mean, it's a metal plate. We know what it is, right? It's like it's sticky. It's made of metal. I'll put it back in my backpack. Go off on a tangent about how it's metallic.
I'm just telling it for everyone's sake and yours as well. I am concerned for your safety. Just remember not to touch or pick up anything. Really.
Got it. Unless it's super interesting, right?
Not even if it's super interesting.
I think especially if it's super interesting, you better not touch it.
Got it.
Okay,
And Verity will nod and say, well, let's be on our way.
All right. You all make your move.
We're at the place.
Okay, let's see. You move through from the crowded streets of the Hive district, and just when you thought you gotten tired of like the smoke and the grime and the clinging desperation, there's a new sensation after passing through of emptiness and desolation. There's an entire region, entire block that as far as you can see, that's just desolate. Wrecks, ruins of what might have been houses and buildings at one point, just fallen apart or burnt, and then you can make out old bones, rusted metal, and things just littering the place. It's like a no man's land. And you can make out a few figures picking their way through, some with shovels, most seeming to just keep to themselves or moving in furtive little gangs. As other little critters like rats just squeak through the under remains of what was once a functioning hive area.
Do we see?
This is the slacks.
Like a looming
This is the
tower?
slacks. Okay. Sile says, all right, I'll look for a suitably empty place.
All right.
This one will keep watch, just in case.
You
I'll go with you.
Okay. How do you all wish to do security procedures?
The slags, like when I look at the map,
The ground.
it looks
Okay.
like it has towers, like
No, those
ruins,
are
spires.
ruined parts. Yeah.
Can I find one sturdy enough to climb on top of?
There are none that you would consider very sturdy at all.
Hmm.
So it's a risk.
I see.
Like the other parts of the hive are all marking and all that, but the ground beneath your feet just feels like perpetually dry and just cracked and crusty.
How tall are these structures?
Well, let's see. The tallest you can see is the tallest intact building you can see around is maybe 3 stories high or so.
Okay. I will try to climb up that one.
Is there a building near us? Like relatively
There are
shorter?
wreckages of buildings. There are no actual buildings.
Yeah.
Like this place was charred. It was a war zone, literally.
I think the better question is, can Alara go into any of the buildings?
There's no buildings.
So it's just like random
Yeah,
walls,
all just remains and
doors and stuff.
Dystopian Fallout future.
Yeah, Verity
I
will
think
do.
I'll just pick one that's about 20 feet tall and
Verity will do a divine sense.
attempt to hop on that.
Music. Like the tallest remaining intact is around 3 stories. So, hey, make your investigation check.
Investigation.
Bless you.
Can I use passive because my passive is better than my regular?
All right.
It's 15.
Okay. You scrutinize the walls and handholds and all that, and eventually you determine that this structure is about 50% likely to collapse. So you use the other 50% as best you see fit.
All right. I'll climb up to 20 feet. I don't want to go all the way up because it seems dangerous.
Okay, there's another. Let's see. I need also a dexterity acrobatics because around here the dabus have not come. There's razor vine growing all over the top section.
Oh no.
Can I hack them away? Or do I dodge them?
It's easier to try and dodge around it. If you want to hack it, you need proper hacking tools.
Okay.
How did the Dabus actually like cut them with their special tools?
Dabus are not normal creatures.
How do they? I mean, from the way we see them, how do they get rid of the
They
thorn?
seem to whack them with sickles, but you're
I
not
can
sure if those are
create
just sickles or extensions of the dabus.
Oh.
I see. Interesting.
I can create sickles because those are considered simple weapons.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that instead.
Okay. I'll say
Seems like a more haze thing.
you will need to make a check, but this will take you more time.
Yeah, that's fine.
While he's
How
doing
much
that,
time?
We're not rushing.
Huh?
We are
well,
rushing,
if you're-
kind of.
Well, if Hayes is willing to spend like the better part of an hour hacking away.
Oh, what? Really? Just to climb up?
No,
Okay,
climbing
I'll
up was
just dodge them
fast.
then.
Climbing up was fast, but the razor vine is a perfidious mess.
Ah, I see.
can't you like shadow
Okay.
through razor vine?
Perhaps.
What if I help him? Can we
there's a
shorten
spot.
the hour?
I don't think it's safe to have more people climbing up.
Mm.
All right. I'll just go with yield acrobatics then.
You can do it.
15.
That's a decent roll.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Somebody is smashing faces with tin cans.
Okay, Hayes. It takes some effort to avoid the worst of the razor vine. You manage to get to the top with some superficial scratches over your scales.
Yeah.
And you take a good glance around. Is there something you're looking for in particular?
Any signs of movement that's not us?
Okay, there's plenty of other scavengers around here, but you notice they tend to move like in small little packs, like 3 or 4 at a time.
So
The
like
target-
humanoids, right?
humanoid. Some are a bit smaller to be like normal humanoids and such.
Okay, but not animals or like people.
Well, you can make out some stray animals as well, like lurking in the fringes and all that. But well, given that this was the hunting ground of the Kadiks, they understandably shy away from anything that makes noise or come towards them.
Okay. I will try my best to keep an eye on the various party members,
Okay.
and if any of them are being attacked, then I'll go help them.
Okay.
That will be my job.
Let me just look for something quickly.
So while they're like moving around, like occasionally maybe they'll go out of my line of sight, but you know, can only do so much, right?
Give me a moment. I need to do something quickly.
Okie dokes.
Da-da-da.
Especially Verity. The
The soft
cinnamon
boy.
roll must be protected.
How's Arya doing?
Arya's
She's like
still trying to
bitching.
keep quiet.
Bitching in
Is
her
Arya-
mind.
Arya's been quiet around here, and she's noticeably fidgety. She says, "This was a sight of great evil."
Just a bit of question. I don't know.
Arya's so funny.
I know.
Oh,
Sight
yes,
of
indeed.
great evil. Does this not bother you at all?
Well, we have to. It does, but we have to do what we must.
Couldn't we find another place?
Well, this is the only place that we won't involve other people.
She sighs a little bit.
It's okay, Arya. I mean,
Okay.
we have to face evil to grow.
Yes, but I like to face evil from a safe tactical distance.
Sometimes we have to be facing it face to face.
Okay, Hayes, from your lookout point, you managed to see three individuals that sort of stand out.
Are they standing out together?
No, they're like separate areas, but like they move with a certain purpose around.
Do they appear to be... Whoa, what is that thing?
What is this?
Oh, it's Filch.
What?
You know Filch from Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah. He let himself go.
Oh yeah. He needs some moisturizing.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so what are they up to? They're moving around? Are they looking for things, or are they
Okay,
watching my friends?
Okay, let me actually. I need to label these.
It's unknown, triple question mark,
And
Filch.
triple question mark.
Oh, DM. while everything's going around,
We're just calling Filch right now.
DM just giving you a heads
Just
up.
a moment. The first
Things
one,
going around.
the unknown,
Mm-hmm.
is skulking around, keeping to the shadows as other scavengers are obviously digging in the ground and all that.
Uh-huh.
Unknown one seems to be watching the scavengers, or more accurately, their pets.
They're pets?
Their pets.
Pets. Okay, so this thing's planning on
Stealing some
doing
stuff.
the
Thefting.
old Steve. Yes.
Unknown number 2, which looks like some kind of a female elf of some kind, but this one is as far from Verity as you can determine.
Uh-huh.
She seems to be walking around, and every now so often she'll like stop and like bend over and put her ear to the ground.
Huh.
And occasionally one of the scavengers seems to confront her about this. And like you can't see what she does, but like she seems to open up something in her robes and they back off.
Oh, she's packing. All right. What about last guy?
And the unknown number 3 seems to be walking around, occasionally seeming to mutter to himself, but he does seem to be looking quite intently more at the scavengers themselves.
Oh,
So he's not scavenging but watching the scavengers.
yes.
Hmm.
So we have a thief and 2 weirdos.
Yeah.
So these are the notable ones out of a lot of the
Yeah.
other
As
scavengers.
in case, like because of your background, I think you learn to assess threats as quickly as possible. So
Mm.
It pinged you. Nice.
I shall. I can communicate to Sile, right? But position-wise, how far away are they from like us?
okay, I'll say right now. Okay, I'll say you're closer to the scratch wall H32, and you're closer to the middle of the slacks. The scratch wall itself is on the border of the slacks, not too far from Alicia's pantry. It's a stone wall nearly a block long, and it's all that's left of a protective bulwark, a testament to the force of the blood war.
I see.
It's made of a soft black stone from Gehenna, and it seems that every single idiot who can write or thinks they're half literate wants to add things to it. So you have embarrassing poetry like, "When I get to Elysium, I'll bring peace to them." Questionable boasts like, "Mighty Quentin killed him 10 barges before he could walk." And just stupid things like, "HF would follow MC into the abyss just to see her smile."
I see.
It's fairly interesting with a bit of a morbid reading, and some can't help but draw a comparison to the Dustman pillar where they put the dead books on the walls.
Oh.
Okay, so we're around the scratch wall, right?
Yep.
And those 3 are all towards the center, the slags proper.
Yeah.
All right.
Or rather, they're not near you at the moment.
I will signal to Verity and Sile and inform them of the activities of these 3 suspicious individuals. One seems to be a common thief, but the other 2 have stranger habits.
Have they been alerted to our presence?
Not that this one can tell.
Good. We try not to draw
Okay.
attention.
Good
to
work.
ourselves.
Just keep an eye on the strange ones. All right. I think the middle here should work fine enough. He seems to have found a spot like beneath the shadow of a wreckage that dangling over you think could have been part of a soup kitchen once.
Verity will put our hand and say,
Just let me do a quick sense.
Okay.
60 feet. Any celestial fiend or undead or desecrated, consecrated.
Okay. The first thing you feel is this entire ground is desecrated.
Okay.
But we already knew that coming in, right? Come on.
Well, it's an evil place. So.
Well, it makes sense. Like the remnants of the war went on so bitterly and for such great length that it's contaminated the ground, and probably the caches they buried also added to that.
Oh, okay. That's the ground.
And fiends, well, there's one not too far away from you.
Do tieflings register as fiends for the purpose of?
Yes.
Nice.
Well, I know that presence, so I move on.
There's the sound of a cat meowing in the background as well.
It's so cute.
You're not sure the cat would be doing a face like this. Fiends around. Some of the scavengers obviously have some infernal heritage.
Mm-hmm.
But see, presence. There's a fiendish presence also buried somewhere like below, but not where you are at the moment.
Oh, you can
below
find the treasure later on if you are so inclined.
Any like objects that is like
I mean,
There's a greater
York just
consequence.
senses like the presence, but not too much more detail than that.
Yeah. Presence of any object. Okay, so I sense some fiend presence underground.
Yes.
Is it moving? Not moving at all.
I mean, yours is a blip, what? A lot lasts for how long?
Until the end of your next turn. So
Yeah,
it's like
it's
12.
gone. It's gone.
Alright, so fiend presence underground.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, and then Verity will say, alright.
Okay, so Kip, what was Adam trying to do again?
Oh no, I'm just letting you know that I'm transforming while everyone's doing their things.
What?
Okay.
That's it. That's really it. That's
Adam casually
Who
turns
sees
into his
this?
ultimate form while everyone else is just standing around.
While wasting the ultimate cooldown. Oh, misclick, guys, misclick.
Okay, what is Rose and Alara doing?
Alara is keen on finding the location of the cache. So she's just like looking around, seeing if.
Okay, you know that these caches would be buried.
What would
Based on
there
the fact
be?
that everyone's digging around and the place collapsed a long time ago, it's all buried.
Oh. Okay. So, can she see any of the roving digging people?
Yes, she can see.
Can she tell how long they've been there at all?
It's hard to say, but the first thing you do notice is that they are not friendly to people who approach them at all.
Okay.
Some of them, I would say, have brought like little tents, and like they pitch up tents and such.
Okay. That's all. I guess she's just keeping an eye open. Where has Verity gone with the horsey?
Let's go with let's go with Rose first. What's Rose doing?
Nothing. She was just taking out her bow and taking out her bow. When she sees Adam turning, she's probably gonna look at Balazar and ask, "You're out already, huh?"
Oh, before Adam turned, he wrote a note on a piece of paper, like don't pick up anything, and then stuck it onto the ground in front of him and then transformed. So I'm just letting you know that. So Belisar looks at you, like he looks around. It's like, why? What's going on? What are we doing right now? What's happening?
We're testing out a portal key. I didn't think that he would turn to you so quickly. I thought he'd be more interested in it.
Okay, this seems a strange place to do this, but we are on a mission. We have a portal key. It's probably going to be ugly.
Okay, that's probably what. What's that? And then he like picks up the note. He's like, why am I not allowed to touch anything? What did he do?
You do realize that out of character, you just put a note on the floor for him to pick up, and it says don't pick up anything.
Yes.
And he's just like,
fuck. And he just picks it. He's like,
shit! Like, what did he do? Why am I not allowed to pick up anything?
There are motions to this whole place. Bad place. Buried stuff. Very bad place.
Fucking. All right.
Fira points, look, nothing grows here.
What about those plants on the wall? They grow here.
Those are... Fira looks at them suspiciously. I tried cutting and burning them. Not easy.
Maybe you haven't used fire hot enough. You! Short one. We're going to try to burn that thing down. Come with me.
Oh my god.
Goes over to some nearby razor vines.
Balazar is so cute.
No, I'm pretty sure your breath alone can light up the whole bush.
Channeling his inner gardener.
Fira says I can't burn a thing. I'ma show her. I'ma burn the thing.
Go help him, Fira.
No, I don't.
What did Balazar do to the The razor vine innocuously remains where it is on the wall.
Fuck!
But what do you use? Sorry.
I'm using the the Dragonborn thing where you breathe fire. Yeah, I'm gonna breathe
Roll
fire
damage.
on it.
Just roll damage.
Sure. Oh shit. I'm still on Adam's sheet. Shit. Oh shit. I don't have. Wait, what? Right, it's. Hmm. Okay.
It'll be 3d6, I think.
It's 2d6. No? Oh, yeah, 3d6 at level 5. Yep. Just found it on my. Yeah.
All right.
Whoa.
Balasa, you exhale flames, and
Oh.
and then you notice that like about I'll say a 10-foot radius of razor vine gets obliterated.
What? Seriously?
Yeah,
10
like
feet.
10 feet radius of razor vine sort of gets obliterated and falls down in sharp patches, which leaves the rest of the building of razor vine still fairly intact. There was more of it than you burn, but well, at least it does burn. Your little display, though, it does not escape attention from some others around.
I reckon it doesn't, because he's screaming, "Save Hera! It's not so tough." Fucking razor vines. No, he doesn't know the name. Fucking plants.
There are knots. Well, fire. That's good to know. There's some. Okay. I would say the nearest group of scavengers, maybe about like 40 feet away. When they see a fiery display, like some of them draw weapons.
Are they nearby enough that?
Do they seem to be approaching him?
Yeah.
They don't seem interested in approaching, but immediately they take up
they're just
defensive
wary.
position.
All right.
Okay.
Alright. Cool.
I can see this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I will signal to
Also,
Verity.
you notice that the unknown 2 and 3 are starting to take some interest in this area.
After the fire, or they were
After the fire.
Oh, okay. All right. I will signal to Verity and Sile. The scaled one is drawing attention to himself. He's turned into the lizard. And then I give the general location of him.
Right, he gives a sigh.
Numbers 2 and 3 seem interested.
Well, we should gather everyone here.
Look, if I as a mercy killer tell people to sod off here, they'll probably do the opposite. So let's get the portal quickly.
Yes, we should gather everyone as quickly as possible.
And then Verity tells Hayes,
Just get everyone together, and we'll just activate the portal
Right.
Your position.
at the scratch wall.
Wait, aren't we at the scratch wall?
Yes, you're at the scratch wall.
yeah.
Like at the soup kitchen.
They're
when
down.
collapsed.
They are basically below, and you're on top.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very well. I will gather them. And then I hop off.
Okay, you hop off 20 feet.
Yeah. Like a boss.
Okay, Hayes, you hop off. Make an intelligence saving throw.
What?
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 Oh. I was not expecting that.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Decent number.
Okay, Hayes, as you leap off, like the wind flutters around you oddly, and for a moment, your surroundings seem to change.
Ooh.
Suddenly, you're jumping off like the balcony of a building. There's a scream around you somewhere, and then flames just erupt all around and around you, and you catch glimpses of things scattering through the streets below.
Do I look like I'm in a different place?
And then you land back on desolate, crunching ground amidst like wreckage and ruin.
I see. Hayes looks visibly puzzled as he looks back up to where he was a moment ago.
It's still the same ruin thing.
Can you already see him being puzzled?
I guess.
But he was like,
What's up there?
The damage done to this place leaves it scarred. And then he
Yes.
will head over to Balazar and gang.
Okay, Balasar, I'll say you also make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
oh, wow.
The plants! The
Okay,
plants!
Balasar, you pat the rose back on the back, admiring at your handicraft of like the burn plant, and when you turn back, you're instead looking at instead looking against the wall. Their bodies impaled in a line along there on cruel barbed like irons, and what looks like a manufactured fence turned into a spittoon. Like the bodies are singed and scorched, and around you there's blood in the streets. There's people screaming, people rioting, and things running and flitting through the air on top.
Okay. He's gonna go, what the fuck's going on?
There's a shower, there's a spray behind you as like embers trickle down and blast around. And on the walls behind you, where you see the graffiti.
Oh, graffiti. Okay.
The graffiti twists and writes on it in hateful languages that you can't comprehend, but with a malice in them.
Fuck.
What do you wish to do? There's screaming, there's shouting, there's rioting, and fire everywhere.
I look around and that's all I see. I'm going to look at the wall and I will shoot fire at it. What's going on here? Fuck! And I blast fire at the shaping wall because he thinks that's what's causing this. Because it's like shouting, like it's transforming new words.
Okay.
On
Roll damage.
Okay, while this is happening, does Alara see Balazar just going apeshit?
Everyone does, but you have no time to react right now.
Yeah, 'cause it's his turn. Like, we just saw him breathe fire at plants and he's like, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah,
And then he starts yelling at the wall and breathing more fire.
Yeah, because I was wondering if it's happening in real life or it's just in his mind.
Okay. The inane line like HF would follow MC into the abyss just to see her smile. It gets scorched off the wall.
Yeah, fuck those fuckers.
And he's just gonna keep yelling to the air like, show yourself! What are you doing?
Your thing is a firebolt?
Yeah, firebolt.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that's what he shot at the wall.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were breathing fire.
Balasa, make another intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
He is not within 10 feet of me, right?
No.
He's pretty
Oh
far.
my god.
Eh,
What is this?
I can't help.
Balasa remains in. Okay, now everyone may start reacting. Like Balasa continues screaming and throwing fire.
How far is he from me?
30 feet, I'll say.
Is he
Okay,
targeting the wall or is he like
Targeting
firing
the wall.
randomly? Okay.
Okay, and like the prospectors
that's
who are 40
interesting.
feet away, like you see them raising crossbows in this direction.
Who can react first? Do we roll initiative or something?
It hasn't gone into
Rose
initiative yet.
and Lizard Man are closest to me, I think.
No, Rose
Rose,
and
Rose,
Rose is
Alara, and
closest to
Fira.
Balasa right now.
yeah.
Alara, I would say, is the furthest away.
Okay.
Fuck!
So Rose react first then.
Yes.
Rose and Fira.
Rose and Fira can do their thing.
Fira sees Balasa ranting and all this, and like, She starts searching for her water skin. Rose, what do you do?
Rose is going to smack. Well, she's gonna take out her whip and she's going to smack Balazar with it. Oh, gonna have to snap out of it.
You have
It
advantage.
worked before.
Rose, you have advantage to hit.
22.
That hits for sure.
Yeah, that hits. Do your damage.
Slap.
Just 7.
7.
Snap out of it.
Balasa, something whips you on the back. You turn around and you are confronted with like a 20-foot tall effigy or something.
Wow, I'm big.
Furious and like breathe like flames falling from his mouth and like a flaming whip having seared across your back.
Noisy.
And then suddenly it vanishes in the path and there's just Rose standing there.
Well, it saved me like the spell slot.
Oh, saved.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
But,
Flaming effigy vanishes and is replaced by Rose.
all right, so he was probably looking up, and then now it's gone, and it's just Rose there, and he looks at Rose, and then he feels like the whiplash, what he felt to be fire on his back, like what he thought, and he looks at Rose and he goes, "Was that you? Did you fucking do that to me?
Well, what the fuck were you doing?"
Didn't you see?"
Fira says, you started screaming and shooting the walls.
So none of you fucking saw the bodies. The wall with the words they were moving.
Are they still moving?
I look up at the wall, are the words moving?
Well, your scorch marks are there. It's the same lame graffiti and all that.
What's going on here?
What the fuck happened?
Hayes, you may make a perception check.
How are the
prospectors with a bow.
scavengers doing? Are they?
They're visibly nervous now, and they look like they're about to start shooting when any more strange stuff happens.
He's gonna. Balazar is just gonna keep screaming at Rose, I guess. I said, what the fuck happened?
Can I?
Sure.
Like your babe said, you were screaming is probably because you shot that thing.
I'm going to go near Balazar, and you're calling quite an attention to yourself. If you look around, you'll see you have fans. So if Rose didn't protect you, perhaps you'll be going around merrily blasting. Okay?
Can Verity go now?
Yeah.
Verity goes towards Balasa.
Calm down, Sir Balasa. I think it must be the land, the slacks. It gets to people sometimes. It's a desecrated land. It might have affected you.
Why the fuck is it just me?
This one was also affected.
Well, perhaps you
Hearing-
can see things better than others.
Hearing
But-
Hayes.
For now, we have to go quickly to the portal.
Hayes, can you make a perception check?
Perception.
12.
Okay, what's your passive?
22.
Okay, Hayes, you notice unknown two standing about 120 feet away and like looking straight at the group.
Where am I standing right now? Am I standing with the?
You're standing with everyone, I guess, since the commotion and all that.
I shall nudge Verity gently and say quietly, Unknown 2 seems to have taken an interest to us.
Also, well, from your vantage point, you can't really see the other two.
Yes.
Verity looks at the. Verity would not look towards the direction. He's gonna say,
All right, we need to get this going quickly.
and then he speaks to Balasar.
All right, if you're all right now, we could begin the investigation. We are drawing too much attention right now.
Sile says, on second thought, you all go ahead. I think I want to stay back and make sure no one tries anything funny.
Are you going to be all right?
I'm going to watch this place. I'm not sure how well this portal works of yours, but if you need to come back, I need to make sure that there's nothing nasty on this side.
Here's a question. How are we supposed to come back?
We have the second key.
Justice, will you be all right? But
Don't worry for me.
Please tell this to Officer Aram as well, just in case if you need support as well.
Will do.
All right.
Verity will give one long look as I and then turn to you guys.
Are we all ready?
I nod.
All right. So here comes the stabbing part.
who's holding the key?
Verity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the expedition party 40 feet away, they've lowered their crossbows, but they're still watching all of you.
No.
Can I do this like subtly?
Hayes will ask whether you wish to do this out of sight.
Yeah, I think it's better.
Okay,
Cover
so
is quite poor here, so if you hide, it's with disadvantage.
in that case, Hayes key points to cast a darkness bubble around us.
Okay.
No trigger.
You guys are all
Magic.
gathered around, right?
Yeah.
All right. He's gonna
Yes,
take
we're
the
all gathered around.
Also, just because Alara thinks that the suit came out of the portal, she's gonna stand away from the portal so it doesn't face her.
No.
That means you're separating from the group.
Well, doesn't it appear in a specific area
We
after
don't
you
know.
perk yourself?
We don't know what's gonna happen. We're just grouping up in like a clump, and then we're gonna be surrounded by darkness, and then Verity's gonna do a thing.
He gonna stab himself.
So what's the plan now?
So there's
Yeah.
literally like we don't know what's gonna happen. Like we're just standing in a group, and Verity's gonna activate the key.
Yeah.
And we're
Verity
not
will
gonna
say,
see anything.
Well, I'm not exactly I'm not exactly knowledgeable about what happens, but brace yourselves.
and then he stabs his like forearm with the butterfly.
Okay,
pin.
wait. First, before Verity does it, where are you all standing? Are you all doing the group huddle in the bubble?
Yes, that's the idea. Like I'll only make the bubble come out after we've all huddled together,
Well,
and like
you
Alara?
guys
nobody-
can huddle, but she's not. She's
you
gonna
won't be
stay
able
outside.
to see us.
You can't see inside anyway.
What?
You can't see inside anyway.
You can't see inside, but at
Yes,
least you know where
exactly.
you're standing relative to each other, I guess.
Well, if the bubble is small,
The bubble is 20 feet in radius.
Yeah.
so where
Those
Verity is standing, she's going
Yeah.
to be like a bit away, I guess,
Okay, so are you going
How
to
many
take the
feet
risk
away are
of
you
maybe,
from the-
Yeah.
from
Are you
Verity.
gonna take the risk of maybe not being in the portal?
Well, versus getting pummeled by shit,
Yeah.
gonna take that risk.
Okay. So
like
so Alara's
10
standing
feet
like
from
10 feet away
Verity.
from Verity, and is everyone else standing 5 feet away from Verity, like next to him?
Yes.
Rose?
Rose?
Probably is what she says.
Yes.
Probably
Yeah, okay.
five
probably.
Alright.
feet,
So
yeah.
so the rest of
Alright.
us are like in a clump and Alara's like to the side.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, keeping note here. How many active portal keys do you have?
We
Yeah.
have 2
Ac-
right now.
Active.
2
Yeah,
active.
2 active.
Okay, and who are they on?
One on Rose. One on Rose. So that's 3.
One on Rose, one on Verity, one depleted, one also on Verity.
Yes. So we
So
have
2.
2 active ones.
Oh, so you're.
And then Rose still has the Abyss key.
That's 3.
Yep.
Alright, let go.
Okay.
Oh, that feel when Lara gets left behind.
It okay.
And keep Sael company.
Let's see. There's 7 minutes to 11.
It's okay. Keep going.
Trigger the portal and then time's up, guys.
Is it better to trigger the portal than cliffhanger or just cliffhanger now?
No.
Cliffhanger after you trigger the portal, because it's like that's really painful.
Okay.
Because that's what sucks more.
Alara, wait, Verity, Okay, Verity, you stab yourself with the portal key where?
At the forearm. Yeah.
You're in full plate armor.
I know the
Why are
part
you
where
doing it at the like vital part of your body? Why stop somewhere else?
Stick it into Rose.
Why?
Yes, stop something else. Like Rose's finger or something.
Because she's squishy and malleable.
no, either that or like I mean, forearm there is some parts that is not fully covered by plate armor anyway, so just those parts, I guess.
You actually have to make an attack roll. Because
alright.
because full plate. For the first time, you realize you have a problem hitting yourself with this thing.
You can poke your face.
No, he's just gonna remove his gauntlet and do it.
Okay.
Attack for 1d what?
With the
Take 1 damage.
Okay, 1 damage.
Improvise to weapon attack.
Boop. And then
Verity, you jab yourself with the pin.
Yep.
And a bit of blood oozes out covering the pin head. And nothing happens.
Strange. He's gonna wear the gauntlet back.
Well,
he
think.
The rest of us are kind of just waiting.
Sael calls out from outside the darkness bubble. Are you all still there? Is it working?
Well, perhaps.
Maybe it has a cooldown period.
We're in a darkness bubble, and we can't even see if it worked or not, right?
Yeah, actually, that's true.
We can hear Sael. We can hear Sael, so it obviously hasn't worked.
Name Sandwich Jeff.
Wait, but what if it's like you have to see the portal open up, but it makes no sound? So it's not, you still have to walk through it.
No, perhaps we are not jabbing at the right place, I guess.
What?
I think you're just not jabbing hard enough. Go. Jab with the intention to injure yourself.
I pipe up.
I do it again.
Meanwhile, I say, in an effort to find out something, maybe it would be good if we could actually see it. I know for safety and stuff, but, Sael is outside. Sort of.
Alara, what's your passive perception?
18.
18. Okay, this is what you notice. The unknown two, who was watching the group earlier, she still seems to be looking in that direction. In the darkness bubble or whatever.
Into the darkness bubble?
You're not sure. She's looking in that direction.
Wait, Alara, are you in the darkness bubble?
I'm like 10 feet away from Verity.
She must have devil's sight.
Oh, okay, then never disregard that.
She
Okay.
must have some.
Alara's in the bubble too, so we don't.
Yeah,
know
so
that.
it's like pretty dark.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So if Verity tries
so I
again,
recall Moshai say something about not knowing exactly where to jab the pin, right?
Well, he ordered the zombie to jab everywhere, but like
But it doesn't work because they are zombies.
apparently.
Perhaps it would work on somebody not of Sigil. Just a question. Also, again, would be nice to be able to see things.
Well, it's quite a predicament here. Doesn't seem to work. On me, at least.
Can I step out? Do I know where the end of the bubble is so I can step out even?
Well, you know where Haze is, so you presume if you move away from Haze, you'll be fine.
Okay, I'm taking slow steps back. I'm moving out of the bubble, just FYI.
Sayo looks at you. Are you left behind? As you emerge back into the light of, well, the ruin and light of Slag.
I squint because it hurts. God. No, apparently it doesn't work. Can you hear us inside?
Oh, I heard something, but I really hoped it was working. Alara, at this point, you notice the unknown two looking in the direction. The group.
So I'm not sure if you saw them, but she goes closer to Sile and then she points a chin towards, like very lightly, the two. I think the one that is looking directly into the dark place.
She has done nothing that I can act against at the moment, unfortunately.
Do you think she can see in it?
I'll go have a word with her. You all carry on.
I'll keep watch. Then I sort of go closer to the circle again, but not stepping in and go,
Could it be because we have to stab ourselves in vital organs?
do I hear him say that?
Yes.
Perhaps,
Yes, you do.
perhaps,
say that.
Verity, you don't stab yourself at a vital.
Does Rose or Balasa want to contribute something?
Oh, can I just swipe it? Like I can't see. That's
No,
why
you
I wanna
can't
just-
see.
I wanna swipe it out of his hand, but I can't see.
Well, you can't swipe, so I guess you might have to ask.
Yeah.
Is Rose
No.
doing anything?
Use your words, Balazar.
She's not saying anything.
Balasa is like, what are these words thing?
Well,
Alright,
what are
and
the
he's
words?
gonna yell in the general direction of Verity, and he'll be like, "You seem
Hand me the key.
pretty useless right now. Can I try it?"
You want to stab yourself?
Is that all? That's all I have to do, right?
Perhaps, but I will
Do
not
I
want
need to
you
channel magic
injure.
into it?
This is the only one we have, but you can have a go.
I
And
can't.
then awkward.
just-
trying
Yeah,
I don't
to
know
hand
where.
the-
What the
Yes,
fuck?
awkward trying to hand him the key.
Okay, I'll say it's not too hard to hand it to him because he'll
Alright.
wave it around you until you hit something or
All
something.
right, cool.
Yes.
All right, I take it. I stab it in my chest as hard as I can.
Before he stabs it, can I take mine to the two people that were watching?
Alara, you were standing like you
On the
thought
edge.
on the edge, and Balasa stabs himself.
God damn it.
Balasa, roll unarmed damage for yourself.
That's
1d4 plus strength.
But he's not a monk, right? So it's just 1, I think.
Yeah, it's 1 plus. It's 1 plus
Oh
3.
yeah,
It's 4.
yeah. I'm thinking
4.
Tavern Brawler.
I deal 4 damage to myself.
Okay. You stab yourself in the chest, and then
I also channel magic through it if that helps.
what sort of magic?
Raw magic.
Fire magic.
He uses a sorcery point. Wow.
Cast like
You
green
stab yourself.
flame blade.
Oh no.
No, what?
All
The
right.
madman.
Raw magic splits through you as well as the pin itself, and then at first there's just the blood oozing between your fingers, and then oh, this is interesting.
What?
Let me roll some.
Oh god.
That's a 1.
That's
That
a
can't
what?
be good.
1.
Shit.
Okay, you stab yourself, and suddenly there's like a. You wouldn't call it light, because light does not appear in the darkness. Perhaps it could qualify as some kind of radiance, but it is not a kindly looking sort. Like, you're not sure how you're seeing the darkness, but radiance seems to like just flare up from where you stabbed yourself in the chest, spread, expanding outwards rapidly, and like a claw pokes out from your chest,
The fuck?
Whoa.
and another.
What?
He's growing new arms.
As in, like, it's like your chest. You can still feel like you can still feel your chest, but like there's like a glowing sort of portal hole where your chest was, and it's like growing more and more as something emerges. And this is all in like the space of a second or so, as it emerges, and
Sounds.
everyone in the
Bubble.
yeah, everyone in the bubble make a since you weren't prepared for this, make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage. You may fail it if you choose. Alara makes a dexterity saving throw with no disadvantage.
But still.
I got 9.
I
You
got
get a
a
plus
12.
5, guys. Plus 5.
Oh,
12.
Plus
I
5.
got
So,
a 17.
within 10.
Got
I
a
don't
12.
think I get a roll, right?
I'll get back to you later.
Yeah, alright.
What's the total results?
The lowest is currently 9.
Okay,
The
so
second
plus 5
lowest
to
is a 12.
Plus 5 to everything, is it?
Alara doesn't.
Except for Alara.
Yeah. Alara has a 12, Verity has a 9. Hayes has a 17, Rose has a 20.
Yep.
Plus
And
5.
Fira
Has a question
because
mark.
she didn't roll.
Yeah.
Fira chooses to fail.
What
Yeah.
sounds do
Do
I
we know
hear?
what we're choosing to fail? Because if it's a portal coming out, then I'm
Well,
not gonna try
with
to dodge
all
it
of
because that
you,
was the whole
just-
point.
Well, you're all within darkness. So only one
Okay.
person knows what's going on, and like, and okay, something emerges like you catch a glimpse of claws, large, wide, and like an impossibly wide head, wider than your chest should be, emerges out, peeking around. Like, this is new.
Huh?
It says to Balasar.
Usually people open the portals on the floor, not themselves.
What the? Is he like sticking himself
You're
out of my
giving
chest?
birth!
Sticking some up. Imagine like a big chest burst.
It's a chest burster
You're a dad!
that can speak English.
Get the... I just look at him. I say, "Get the fuck off me!"
They never like it. All right. It vanishes.
Understandable.
It vanishes back into the portal, and then the portal itself draws everything around into it.
Fuck.
And let's see. 20 was who?
20 was Rose.
Rose.
Rose makes the saving throw.
Oh my god.
So what happens is like suddenly there's like light flaring around you somehow in the darkness, and there's like a vacuum. It's like you're all just sucked into like Balassa's chest.
Nice.
Do I have time to like yell out to Sail just like 2 words?
Alara, given your usual speaking speed, let's make that half a word.
Okay, I'm just gonna call out his name. Sail! And then she gets sucked in. It's like bitch.
Yes, and then you're all sucked in, and
Accept?
even the darkness is sucked in as well. And then Balassar, you do something that immortal contortionists would be proud of. As you sort of implode onto yourself and vanish.
You do a Ren and Stimpy. Oh my god.
And then like Rose is left like standing like blankly where everyone was before.
Oh no.
Like Rose, where everyone was before, you see a singularity spinning in the air with like a bright light and a hum. And then it explodes. Make another dexterity saving throw.
Aha. It's 11. It's a 26. Holy crap. I mean,
this has no advantage.
I mean, it's an 11, but she rolled a 26 next to it. That's like, what the fuck?
That's probably just an 11 then.
Oh, still have fire resistance.
She's a fire genasi. She should. I mean, she's half fire genasi. Yeah.
Okay, you take half the damage. You take 10 points of fire damage. Just like the singularity just explodes outwards in flame. And like in addition to a deafening explosion, like just seems to deposit like layers and layers of ash upon you. The others are gone as far as you can see, and Sail is running over, and like his mouth is opening, but you're not really able to hear him in a temporary like disorientation.
You have tinnitus.
And there's people moving around and all stuff. What you should do now, Rose? The others have disappeared.
Cry. Cry, Rose. Cry. You have been abandoned.
Again. Oh, she is typing. You can move to them first.
I'm not progressing beyond this point for tonight.
Oh.
So what do you wish to do?
It's gonna say, oh shit.
Rose says, oh shit.
It's okay.
And then we cut it there.
She's a portal lady plane walker thing.
Yeah, if one person...
If there's somebody who can get in...
Especially because she has another key.
Mm-hmm.
It's Rose.
You chose wisely to give the key.
What luck.
Good thing we don't need that to escape, right, guys? Good thing.
We'll find our way.
Yeah, we have Portal Girl. I mean, we'll eventually
On
have
the other
Portal
side.
Girl.
Portal Girl who did an archer and now has tinnitus. And Sail who is freaking out. Nice.
All right, we stop here for today.
Ah,
I'm just imagining the guy coming out of my chest and looking at me like, fuck, that's so...
that's interesting. And with
We
that,
made a portal.
thank you everybody for watching, and we will see you next week on Tuesday this time. So permanently until further notice.
Well, or until something happens to the schedule.
Yeah, so schedule's in flux right now. We apologize, but until further notice, Tuesdays. We'll see you. Bye.
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 Peace out.